back to the channel. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. You're going to be watching the behind the scenes for Jeffy's podcast. So if you guys don't mind, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and let me know what you think of the video down in the comment section below. And also check a card up in one of the corners for my podcast with Matthew called Beyond Buzz. So you guys can check that out. Might as well just do a little pluggity plug when we're talking about Jeffy's podcast. So love you guys a lot, and I'll see you next video.
Hey, Daddy, I got a hypotenuse.
A hypotenuse. You got an idea?
Yeah, an idea.
You mean a hypothesis?
Sure.
So, I may be a genius.
Yo, I may be a genius.
You know how you shit in the toilet?
You know how you shit in the toilet?
And then you have to flush it?
And you gotta flush it?
What if you swallow a bunch of bubble gum, and then when you shit, it like
It just comes prepackaged.
It's like encases it into a big old
Cases it into a big
bubble bag of
bubble bag of shit.
of gum. A gum bag.
A gum bag of shit. You just take it and put it in the trash.
No wiping, just
No wiping.
All the gum just sticks all the shit together.
Just the gum sticks all the shit together.
Or you fart and your asshole looks like the movie Up.
Or you fart and your asshole looks like a movie Up.
You go to Paradise Falls and shit.
Paradise Falls and shit.
If you're not swallowing that much bubble gum.
Well, we'll see.
I like. No, we're not.
Ending joke, Jeffy floats in with all these balloons out of it.
Yeah, I'll pick one.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we won't see anything. No, we won't see shit. Yeah, exactly.
You're right, because you'll be encapsulated in
And gum. Can you guys calm down? I want to watch the new Talk to a podcast.
Can you guys calm down? I want to watch the new Talk to a podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, Jeffy.
No, Dad, don't want you to call me Jeff anymore. I want you to call me Isaac Newton.
Why would I call you Isaac Newton?
Because I'm inventing gravity and shit. What goes up must come down.
What'd you invent?
Daddy, allow me to introduce to you the shit bag.
That's a bag full of bubble gum, Jeffy.
No, Daddy, this isn't the shit bag. This is just what I'm going to use to make the shit bag. Allow me to explain my hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse?
Yes, a hypotenuse is an idea, Father.
You mean a hypothesis?
Hypothesis, hypotenuse, hippo ass. I don't care. I said I'm Isaac Newton, not Noah Webster. Noah Webster was the guy who invented the Webster Dictionary, and I know no one gives a fuck.
Alright, Jeffy, how's a bag full of bubble gum an idea?
Alright, let me explain to you. First off, I'm going to start by swallowing all this gum. Pause. And once I swallow all this gum, no homo, then I'm going to fart, and a big, giant gum bubble is going to come out of my asshole. And then I will start the defecation process. And once I start shitting into the bubble, it will fill up. I will detach the gum bubble from my asshole. I will tie a knot around it and put it in the trash can. No more toilets, no water, no toilet paper, just shit bag.
You are a shit bag.
Well, this shit bag has a pretty good idea, and while I'm at it, I'm going ahead and solving the airplane problem. Because I can swallow all this gum, and then a big gum bubble will come out of my ass, and I'll float up in the sky, just like the house from Up, and I'll go to Paradise Falls or some shit.
Alright, Jeff, you're not gonna eat all that gum.
We'll see.
Yeah, we're not gonna see shit.
Yeah, you're right, because it's gonna be encapsulated in a big gum bubble.
Can you guys calm down? I'm trying to watch my Talk to a podcast.
What's Talk to a?
It's a podcast where they talk about girly things. Shh.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, it's so empowering.
People actually watch this. Yes, Marvin.
Yes, Marvin. It's one of the biggest podcasts.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest podcasts.
It's one of the biggest podcasts out there.
Look at the news.
Oh, look, Marvin, the news.
Oh, I just keep eating out of the bag. Go.
Oh my gosh, Marvin, she's so inspiring. She said one sentence while she was drunk, and now she's famous.
Wait, she's famous because she said one sentence?
Yeah.
And people actually watch this?
Yes, of course, Marvin. It's one of the biggest podcasts out there.
Why does anyone want to listen to someone talk?
Well, to hear their opinions and their worldviews. It's very inspiring.
Wait, Jeffy, knock it off.
Shit bag.
No shit bag.
Look, Marvin, the news.
$250 million just to talk? See, Marvin?
See, Marvin, people like podcasts.
In what world does it even make money? And why?
I think it's comforting to listen to people talk.
Okay, yeah, I'd be comfortable.
I'd be pretty comfortable too.
I'd be pretty comfortable too if I got $250 million just to open my mouth.
Well, that's because he's so famous.
And he's out of Texas too, so he doesn't have to pay any state taxes. Yummy. So he only pays 38% and then says yummy.
That's what he says.
I will talk for $250 million. How about this? I'll talk for $2 million. I'll talk for $250,000.
You never know, Marvin. You could be famous too.
I mean, what could he say that's so different than what I or anyone would talk about?
I don't know, Marvin. I don't watch his podcast. I
watch
watch Talk to It.
So you're telling me if I get a camera and a microphone, I can just talk and get paid?
Well, eventually, yeah.
If somebody wants to listen to you.
Eventually, yeah, if someone wants to listen to you.
And if you're interesting.
And if you're interesting.
Jeffy, let's go I think me and Jeffy can start a podcast and I could interview him.
Yeah, I'll tell everyone about my shit bag.
No, we'll talk about interesting things. $250 million?
People like podcasts, Marvin.
But $250 million just to speak?
Well, that's because Joe Rogan's so famous.
Well, I'll talk for $250 million. I'll talk for cheaper, $250,000. I'll talk for $250.
You could start a podcast, Marvin, and eventually it could make money if people found you interesting.
Oh, everybody would find me interesting. My life's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Every single day the crazy shit happens. People won't believe the things I think about.
Oh, you could always have Jeffy on your podcast.
I'm not going to put Jeffy on my podcast. He never says anything smart.
Daddy, how do turtles bang? Their shell would get in the way.
See, I'm not putting that on the internet.
Marvin, you could call it Two Peas in a Podcast.
Or 2 Rees in a Tardcast.
We're not calling it 2 Reasons Tard, Jeffy.
Well, that's the only way I'm talking on it is if it's called that.
Well, I'll call it Marvelous with Marvin. Marvelous Marvin Podcast.
Marvelous Marvin Podcast?
Or Marv Time with Marvy.
That one. Marv Time with Marvy.
Okay, now that I said it. I'm doing Marvelous Marvin.
Okay.
I'm going to go start my podcast. Jeffy, come help me set up the cameras.
That one. Marv Time with Marvy.
Oh, Marvy, you know him.
Now that I hear it out loud.
It's Marv Time. It's just all him.
Yeah.
Should be like soundtrack or
Lance Time with Lancey.
Yeah, it's like
Marv
just
Time with
duties.
Yeah.
Jeffy should start it off like that. Go into
Yeah. Marv Time with Marvy.
No, it's Marvin.
Who calls you that?
Marvelous Marvin. Let's start the podcast with who the f ever called you Marvin?
Let's start the podcast off with today's question. Who the f ever called you Marvy?
All right, Jeffy, it looks perfect. Hit the record button for me. Boop! Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Marvelous Marvin podcast. Who's going to call it?
He was going to call it Marv Time with Marvy. So that leads us to the first question of the day. Who the f ever called you Marvy?
No one's ever called me Marvy, Jeffy. I was trying to think of a creative name.
Well, I got a creative name for you. Tard Time with Tardy, featuring me.
We're not taking any offensive names. I was going to call it 2 Reasons.
I was going to call it 2 Rees and a Tard because I'm 1 Ree and I'm full tarded.
I was going to be one of the...
I was going to be one of the Rees and the Tard.
Today we were going to talk about gas prices and how I don't like them.
Well, I think that topic's pretty much covered there, Daddy.
Did you put your foot down? Are you sure?
You sure put your foot down on that stance. That's the hill you're going to die on, huh?
So now let's talk about what would happen if you stuck your wiener in an ant pile, in a fire ant pile.
Now let's talk about what would happen if you stuck your wiener in a fire ant pile. I think it would hurt.
It would, Jeffy.
I think it would burn.
Yeah, it would, Jeffy.
What if they tried to go up your pee hole and try to colonize your bladder? Fucking crazy.
Oh,
Queen bee.
Queen ant.
Oh, Queen ant.
Jeffy, no one's going to put their wiener in a fire ant pile.
Maybe.
Somebody on this world's done it.
Somebody in this world's done it.
And one of them on this podcast.
And one of them's on this podcast.
At least I have one of them on this podcast.
Oh.
And one of them on this... What? I did it.
I did it.
No, my looks like a red corn on the cob.
No, my looks like a red corn on the cob from all the ant bites. Owie.
I did it for the
That
podcast.
does it for today's podcast. I'm not uploading that, Jeffy. I already did.
Already did.
Okay.
Streamed live from the Marvy Time with Marvin, or whatever the f he said.
Okay, it looks like everything's set up.
What happened to Marv Time with Marvy?
I like the sound of Marvelous Marvin podcast better.
Huh.
All right, I'm ready to record, Jeffy.
Okay. All right, Danny, it's live.
Live?
Yeah, the podcast is live.
But hey, everyone, welcome to the Marvelous Marvin podcast.
It was going to be called Marv Time with Marvy, which leads us to the first question of the day. Who the f ever called you Marvy?
No one's ever called me Marvin. I was trying to think of a creative name.
Well, I got a creative name for you. How about Tard Time with Tardy, featuring the Tard, me?
We're not calling it anything with Tard in the name, Jeffy.
Well, I personally like 2 Rees and a Tard. I get a dual role. I get to be one of the Rees and the Tard.
We're going to call it what I named it.
Okay, Marv Time with Marv Tard.
The Marvelous Marvin podcast. And let's talk about the real things people want to know. So today I went to go get gas, and man, those gas prices are high. They're really high. I only paid $5. I was like, I'm not filling my tank with that much gas because that's expensive.
Yep. Sounds like you really put your foot down on that stance, Daddy. Now let's answer the questions that people really want to know. Like, what would happen if you stuck your wiener in a fire ant hill?
No one's ever wondering that because no one's going to do that.
I'm always wondering that, Daddy. Like, what would happen if you saw a little hole in the top of the ant hill and you stuck your wiener in it? Huh? And then all the ants started colonizing your bladder, going up through your pee hole. Oh, queen ant dick. And then all the worker ants started bringing breadcrumbs up your pee hole to feed the queen ant. Now you got a bread factory in your dick. Stock that on the shelves and shit.
All right, Jeffy, listen. No one's ever in this world stuck their wiener in an ant pile.
I'm sure there's been plenty of people who stuck their wiener in an anthill. And one of them's on this podcast. Me. I did it. Now my dick looks like a red corn on the cob. Helen Keller could read an entire story giving me a handy.
All right, that ends the podcast for today. Thanks for watching, everybody.
And there's one more thing I must say before I go. Humpty Dumpty dick.
All right, bye, everybody.
Signing off.
Bye. Humpty Dumpty.
So Marvin, how did the podcast go?
Awful. Jeffy said like 40 times.
Actually, it was 4. I said tard more.
Jeffy.
Jeffy.
Let me check the comment.
Let me check the comment.
Please don't tell me what they say. My God.
Oh my God, Marvin,
They
they
love
love
it.
it.
What do you mean
You're
they love it?
famous.
What do you mean they love it? Marvin, it got 25,000 views.
Marvin, it got 25,000 views. That's practically viral.
Yeah, I'm like 25,000 people watched Jeffy say talk about ants going in.
Well, I watched it 24,000 times.
Oh, well, they love Jeffy, Marvin. That's a good thing you put him on your podcast.
Yeah, good thing.
You need to do more.
You need to do more.
I'm not doing any more with Jeffy.
I don't know if they're going to like that.
But he said a bunch of mean, horrible things that people.
Mean. The only thing I said that was mean was making fun of your podcast.
He said a bunch of just horrid things that people wouldn't want to say. He's talking about his book being on his.
They love him, Marvin.
Actually, I said Helen Keller.
And he said Helen Keller could read his.
Marvin, you're going to have to do another one.
I'm not doing another podcast with Jeffy. Ding dong. Oh my God, that's probably an angry mob.
Yep.
Dards.
I'm tard. It's all my fans.
Good.
How did the podcast go, Marvin?
Awful. Jeffy said dick 40 times.
No, I only said it 4 times. I said tard more.
Jeffy, I'm going to go read the comments.
Please don't read the comments. I don't want to read what they have to say.
Well, what's wrong, Marvy?
Oh my God, Marvin, they love it.
What do you mean they love it?
There's over 25,000 views.
We got 25,000 views.
Well, I watched it 24,000 times.
So we got 1,000 views.
Oh my God, Marvin, and they love Jeffy. Good thing you put him on the podcast.
Yeah, good thing.
Well, I'm not gonna put him on another one. I don't want him to say those obscene things he said.
Marvin, you have to put him back on. They love him.
I'm not gonna put on Jeffy, who said Helen Keller could give him a handy and read a whole book.
What?
Oh, there's someone at the door. It's probably an angry mob.
Of tards.